Janine Gallo reading for Miss Fern, page 31 and 32. Now, Claude, although he looked frail, was an excellent swimmer, and of course Rhoda knew that. Once he was in the water, she would have expected him to swim ashore. How could she know that the treacherous pilings were at the exact spot where he fell?
No, she couldn't possibly.
Perhaps she thought in Rhoda's mind when he fell in the water that he'd ruin his new suit and she'd get a scolding for causing it. When he didn't swim ashore at once, she may have thought with the logic of childhood that he'd hidden under the wharf to frighten her, or to escape her. Later on, when it was too late to do anything, she was afraid to admit what had happened.
Then you think Rhoda knows something she isn't admitting?
Yes, I think that, like many a frightened soldier, she deserted under fire. This is not a serious charge. Few of us are courageous when tested.
She has lied, though.
Is there any adult who hasn't lied? Smooth the lines from your brow, my dear. You're so much prettier when smiling.
I shall question Rhoda.
I wish you would, though I doubt that you'll learn more than you know.
Miss Fern, there's something I want to ask you.
Mm.
There was a floral tribute at Claude's funeral sent by the children of the Fern School. I suppose the children shared in the expense, but I haven't been asked to pay any part of that.
The tribute wasn't nearly so expensive as the papers seemed to think. The money has been collected and the flowers paid for.
Perhaps you telephoned me and I was out.
No, my dear. We thought perhaps you'd want to send flowers individually.
But why would we have sent flowers individually? Rhoda wasn't friendly with the boy, and my husband and I had never met the Daigles.
I don't know, my dear. There are three of us, you know, and in the hurry of making decisions...
You make excuses for Rhoda, and then you admit that you didn't ask me to help pay for the flowers. And the reasons you give for not asking are obviously specious. Does that mean in your mind, and the minds of your sisters, there is some connection between the Daigle boy's death and Rhoda's presence on the wharf?
I refuse to believe there is any connection.
And yet you have acted as if there were.
Yes, perhaps we have.
This is a terrible tragedy for Mrs. Daigle, as you say. She has lost her only child. But if there were any shadow over Rhoda from what has happened, I shall have to live under it, and my husband too. As for Rhoda, she would not be happy in your school next year.
No, she would not. And since she would not, it would be as well to make up our minds now that she will not be there.
Then there is a shadow over her, and you have already decided not to invite her back?
Yes, we have made that decision.
But you can't tell me why?
I think her behavior in the matter of the medal would be sufficient explanation. She has no sense of fair play. She's a poor loser. She doesn't play the game.
But you're not saying that Rhoda had anything to do with the Daigle boy's death.
Of course not. Such a possibility never entered our minds. Ding dong.
I'd better answer.
Of course, my dear.
Yes,